It was an emotional day as Harry and Ginny Potter sent their youngest son, Albus Severus Potter, off on the Hogwarts Express for his very first year at Hogwarts. Harry had become the head of magical law enforcement at the Ministry of Magic, and Ginny was thriving as the editor of the sports section of the Daily Prophet. They were busy but proud parents. Alongside them, Ron Weasley and Hermione Granger were also sending their daughter Rose on the train. Hermione had risen to the esteemed position of Minister for Magic, while Ron was managing Weasley's Wizard Wheezes in Diagon Alley, working alongside his brother George. Aboard the Hogwarts Express, Albus quickly struck up a friendship with Scorpius Malfoy, the son of Draco Malfoy, who had once been Harry's greatest foe. Scorpius's mother, Astoria, was also a lovely person. In a surprising twist, Albus was sorted into Slytherin, breaking the long-standing tradition of the Potter family being placed in Gryffindor. Scorpius was sorted into the same house, and they became close friends. Unfortunately, their years at Hogwarts weren't all smooth sailing. Both boys faced bullying, with Albus constantly struggling to live up to his parents' legacy, and Scorpius being taunted with rumors that he was the son of Lord Voldemort. As time went on, Albus and Harry began to drift apart. Harry, uncertain about how to reach out to his son, found it difficult to bridge the growing gap between them. Tragedy struck when Astoria fell ill and passed away from a terrible disease. This loss weighed heavily on Scorpius and affected their friendship. Then came the summer before Albus's 4th year. One day, Albus got into a heated argument with Harry. You see, he had been given Harry's old baby blanket, a bittersweet memento, and a love potion from Ron, which made things even more complicated. In the heat of the moment, Harry said something he would later regret. He angrily confessed that he sometimes wished Albus wasn't his son. The tension escalated, and Albus accidentally spilled the potion all over the blanket. Meanwhile, Harry was dealing with his own struggles. He came across a prototype of a more powerful time-turner, one that could actually change the past. This discovery brought him both hope and concern. At the same time, Harry's scar began to hurt again, sparking fears that Voldemort might be returning. Then Amos Diggory approached Harry, seeking his help to prevent the death of his son Cedric using the time-turner. After overhearing Harry's refusal, Albus felt a spark of inspiration. He was determined to help Amos and prevent Cedric's tragic fate. Albus convinced Scorpius to join him on this daring adventure. Together, they devised a plan to escape from the Hogwarts Express and visit Amos. They teamed up with Delphi, Amos's niece, who had her own motives and knowledge about the time-turner. Their plan took them to Hermione's office at the Ministry of Magic, where they aimed to steal the time-turner, cleverly disguised with Polyjuice Potion. After the tragic death of Cedric Diggory, which occurred during the Triwizard Tournament alongside Harry, Albus and Scorpius decided to take matters into their own hands. They resolved to use the time-turner to travel back to the first tournament challenge. In a bold move, the boys disguised themselves as Durmstrang students with the intent to sabotage Cedric and alter the outcome of the tournament to prevent his victory. However, their plan didn't go as expected. Instead of succeeding, their disguises led to unexpected consequences. Hermione became suspicious of Victor Crumb, a Durmstrang student, and ended up choosing to go to the Yule Ball with Ron instead. This seemingly small change had significant implications. Ron never experienced the jealousy that was so fundamental to his relationship with Hermione, and as a result, they never married. Instead, Ron found himself falling in love with Padma Patil at the ball, while Hermione turned into a frustrated professor at Hogwarts. In this altered timeline, Albus was sorted into Gryffindor. Meanwhile, Harry is plagued by nightmares about Voldemort's return. During one of these troubling moments, the Centaur Bane warned Harry of a dark cloud surrounding Albus. Convinced that Scorpius was a threat to his son, Harry took drastic measures. He tried to separate the boys at Hogwarts and urged Headmistress Minerva McGonagall to keep a watchful eye on Albus using the Marauder's map. The interference caused a devastating rift between Albus and Scorpius. However, things changed when Albus managed to steal Harry's old invisibility cloak from his brother James. After reflecting and having a heartfelt conversation with Draco and Ginny, Harry began to relent. He realized that his fears had clouded his judgment. Albus and Scorpius decided to attempt using the Time Turner again, this time planning to humiliate Cedric during the second task of the Triwizard Tournament. Scorpius returned to the present only to discover that Albus was missing. To Scorpius's horror, Dolores Umbridge appeared and revealed that Harry was dead and Voldemort now ruled the wizarding world. Scorpius realized that his actions had terrible consequences. Cedric Diggory joined the Death Eaters and killed Neville Longbottom, preventing him from destroying Nagini, which led to Voldemort's victory in the Battle of Hogwarts. With Harry dead, Albus Potter never existed in this grim new timeline. Voldemort solidified his control, turning the Ministry of Magic into a ruthless dictatorship. In this alternate reality, Scorpius became head boy and a celebrated Quidditch star, yet he used his influence to help the staff torment Muggle-born students. The oppressive atmosphere at Hogwarts worsened with Umbridge as the new headmistress. She patrolled the school with Dementors and led the revived Inquisitorial Squad, commanded by Scorpius. The Ministry of Magic was under the tyrannical rule of a dark figure known only as the Augury, casting a shadow over the entire wizarding world. Desperate to fix the timeline, Scorpius sought help from alternate versions of Ron, Hermione, and Severus Snape. Together they hatched a plan to use the Time Turner and correct their mistakes. Scorpius felt a wave of relief as he reunited with Albus. Soon after, their parents, along with Ron and Hermione, discovered them. But the reunion was tense. Harry scolded Albus for his reckless choices. Despite the initial anger, a glimmer of reconciliation formed between Harry and Albus as they faced the reality of the situation together. Knowing the dangers the Time Turner posed, Scorpius and Albus decided to destroy it. However, Delphi appeared, complicating their plans. Scorpius noticed Delphi's tattoo of an augury, triggering a chilling realization. She had led the Ministry of Magic in the alternate timeline they escaped. Delphi revealed her true intentions, taking the boys captive and killing a student. She confessed her plan to restore the Dark Timeline and its legacy. After Ron reported seeing Albus and Scorpius with Delphi, Harry and Draco confronted Amos Diggory. They were horrified to discover that Delphi had bewitched Amos into believing she was his niece. Delphi whisked the boys away to the final challenge of the Triwizard Tournament, trying to manipulate the events. However, Albus and Scorpius worked together to foil her plans. In a desperate move to escape, Delphi activated the Time Turner again, attempting to travel further back in time. She accidentally took the boys with her, destroying the Time Turner and leaving them stranded in an unknown time. While searching Delphi's room for clues, Harry, Draco, Ginny, Hermione and Ron found hidden writing on the walls. It revealed the shocking truth. Delphi was Voldemort's daughter, and a prophecy foretold his possible return. Albus and Scorpius discover they have been transported back to the night before Harry's parents were killed. They write an invisible message on Harry's baby blanket, knowing it will be stained with a love potion in the present, revealing the message, "Dad, help, Godric's Hollow." H1. Meanwhile, Draco reveals that the time turner they used is a prototype for a perfected model he owns. After Harry receives the boy's message, he and his allies decide to use Draco's time turner to travel back in time to save them and stop Delphi. The group deduces that Delphi's plan is to convince Voldemort to spare Harry, ensuring his survival. To distract Delphi, Harry magically disguises himself as Voldemort. After a tense struggle, the group manages to subdue her. Instead of killing Delphi, they decide to imprison her for life in Azkaban. Voldemort arrives unaware of Harry and the group, and they allow the murder of Harry's parents to unfold, fearing the repercussions of changing the past. Upon returning to the present, Delphi is sent to Azkaban. Albus and Scorpius resolve to be more active at Hogwarts. Scorpius expresses interest in trying out for the Slytherin Quidditch team and asks Rose to be his girlfriend. She declines but becomes friendlier towards him. Harry and Albus visit Cedric's grave, where Harry apologizes for his role in Cedric's death. This visit strengthens the bond between Harry and Albus, while Harry and Draco also mend their old enmity after working together to thwart Delphi's plot.